Hi, my name is Lydia Smart. For this class, I chose to do my book report on this book, the National Environmental Policy Act, Judicial Misconstruct, Legislative Indifference, and Executive Neglect. This book is actually written by one of our professors, Zachary Smith, as well as Matthew J. Lindstrom, who is a professor at another university. I chose this book because I am an environmental science major and I'm really passionate about policy in regards to the environment. I have a minor in political science, and I think that that's the best way to seek environmental change is through legislative acts and policy regulations. So this book is about the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, which was the first legislative act that kind of addressed environmental concerns within the United States and tried to find a solution for it. And I thought that this book was really interesting because it kind of did a really good job about explaining the background and why this policy was created, but it also addressed a lot of issues that exist within the policy and the way it's been enforced. So that kind of sounds a little bit negative because it has not really met the expectations that it did when it was first passed. But the authors do a really good job about remaining hopeful, which I really liked, and kind of just providing a different take on the situation and ways that it can be adjusted in the future so that it can work and address the concerns of the people. There aren't very many books that I would say that you can really compare this to just because this one is about a specific environmental law. There are obviously other ones that deal with the same topic, but they're just not going to be as specific, and I didn't really find any others during my research that addressed the issues with the policy as specifically as this one did. So I kind of liked that a lot, and I didn't find any that had a sort of hopeful message and positive reminder at the end of the book, which this one did. I think that it was written just for the intentions of explaining the environmental situation and kind of instigating change for environmental policy. It appears from the bios in the book that both of the authors have a lot of interest in environmental policy and a lot of experience. Both have written a lot of received environmental papers and have a lot to do with environmental policy as well. So I think it's a really good informational book for people who are interested in the environment and how it is perceived and used within legislation in the United States. I also think that this book did a really good job of explaining the act because it is kind of confusing, and the thing that I liked a lot was that it provides, in the back there's an appendix which has actually the whole written policy, so you can use that to kind of understand what the authors are talking about when writing the book. Overall, I really, really liked this book. It's policy, so it's not the most interesting thing to read, but because I have an interest in environmental policy and handling the environment at a federal level, I had personal interest in it. The only thing that I have questions about is that this book was written and published in 2001, so I'm just kind of curious about what sort of changes have happened to the policy, if any, since then. It would be nice to kind of see a newer edition if there are big changes, just because I'm not sure what is there, so I don't really know if I'm getting the full picture. But overall, I would really highly recommend this book if anyone has the environmental passions that I do, and it's our professor's book, so that's always cool. I like to read things from my teachers and see what they're doing. So that's all. Hopefully you guys will look into the book. Thanks. Bye.